You know what I love about Singapore? The national language isn't really English, Mandarin, Malay, or Tamil. It's something far more glamorous, Singlish. Imagine broken grammar stitched together with luxury vocabulary. It's like wearing a Louis Vuitton belt on top of your Uniqlo pajamas. You can't tell if it's fashion forward or just forwardly tragic. And yet, here's the kicker. Singaporeans will tell you with a straight face, this is English, perfectly fine English. Westerners, they hear it and act like they've just discovered a rare species of bird chirping in code. Meanwhile, Singaporeans proudly toss around words like prerogative, magnanimous, and superfluous, while skipping basic grammar rules like subject-verb agreement. But don't click away just yet, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Singlish is both the most misunderstood dialect in the world and the ultimate flex against Western arrogance. You'll also see why Singapore's obsession with sprinkling luxury words into broken grammar is less about communication and more about cultural revenge. So grab your kopi la, because today we're going to peel back the layers of Singlish, its history, its pride, its absurdity, and expose why this so-called broken English might actually be more powerful than Shakespeare's Queen's English. Stay until the end, because I'll tell you the real reason Singaporeans don't care if you call their English broken, and why deep down the joke's actually on you. Let's start with the Western reaction to Singlish. You know the type. An American backpacker with his Lonely Planet guide, a British expat still pretending the sun never set on his empire, or that Australian who insists mate is superior to la. They hear Singlish for the first time and immediately clutch their Oxford dictionary like it's a Bible in the middle of an earthquake. Excuse me, did you just say can or not? That's not English. Yes, Sherlock, it's not your English, but neither is half the gibberish you spout when drunk on a Friday night in Soho. The Meltdown is hilarious to watch. Western grammar purists suddenly transform into unpaid UN language inspectors. Where's the subject? Where's the verb? Why so many particles? What's this la law mere business? Meanwhile, Singaporeans just shrug and say, ah yeah, understand can already. But here's where it gets better. Singaporeans love to decorate their broken grammar with luxury vocabulary, like putting caviar on instant noodles. You'll hear flawless pronunciations of words like entrepreneurship, synergize, and magnanimous, all jammed into a sentence that looks like it lost a fight with Google Translate. Example, tomorrow cannot come, but actually, magnanimous boss allow half day one, so can la. Excuse me. Shakespeare just crawled back into his grave, but the office auntie is clapping because she understood every single word. And let's not forget the Western arrogance. The same people mocking Singlish are often the ones who only speak one language, English. And even then, half their vocabulary comes from TikTok slang. Americans say literally when they mean figuratively. Brits call fries chips and chips crisps. And Australians end every sentence like it's a question. So please tell me again how Singlish is the problem. In the end, Singlish isn't broken. It's efficient. It strips away unnecessary grammar rules and replaces them with cultural nuance. Westerners might call it wrong, but in Singapore it's survival. It's not Queen's English, it's Kopitiam English, and that's exactly why it drives grammar snobs insane. If chapter 1 was about the Western meltdown, chapter 2 is about Singaporeans themselves, the self-declared English masters of Asia. They will proudly tell you, we speak better English than the Japanese or Koreans. And yes, compared to a Japanese businessman who still thinks this is a pen is a flex, Singapore does sound like Harvard. But don't get too comfortable, La, because beneath that confidence, Singlish is basically primary school grammar, accessorized with a Gucci dictionary. Let's be real. Singaporeans are addicted to luxury words. They treat synergize the way others treat Chanel bags. Everyday conversation becomes a flex-off. Why say, my boss is kind, when you can drop, my boss is very magnanimous, okay? Why say don't care when you can slam the table with, I'm very nonchalant, la? Half the time, it sounds less like English and more like a spelling bee with bad sentence structure. Here's the comedy. The more expensive the word, the cheaper the grammar holding it up. Sentences collapse like Jenga towers. Yesterday raining, but my friend altruistic, give umbrella, so good call. Imagine Shakespeare having a stroke while watching an NUS undergraduate casually mixing $10 words with dollar store syntax. And let's not forget the ultimate Singaporean flex, using words even Westerners don't use in daily speech. Prerogative, juxtapose, ameliorate, words that make your average American stare blankly. Singaporeans sprinkle them into casual kopi shop gossip like they're free toppings. It's not a conversation, it's a vocabulary contest. But here's the plot twist. When you strip away the luxury vocabulary, what's left? Sentences so minimal they make cavemen look articulate. Can or not, don't want la. Eat already. This is not grammar, it's survival mode. It's the same energy as texting your ex at 2 a.m. with you up, direct, efficient, and grammatically bankrupt. So yes, Singaporeans mock their neighbours for bad English, but at the end of the day, their own English is basically designer shoes on muddy feet, luxury words, broken roads, expensive vocabulary, primary school grammar, and somehow they're proud of it. Now let's stop pretending Singlish is just broken English. No. Singlish is a national strategy. It's a weapon of mass confusion, designed to keep outsiders guessing while Singaporeans laugh quietly in the corner. Think about it. Every country has its way of excluding foreigners. The French roll their R's until your tongue cramps. The Japanese bury you alive in Keigo levels. But Singapore? They weaponize English itself. They take the very language the British left behind, strip it for parts, mash it with Hokkien, Malay, Tamil, Cantonese, and then toss in a few colonial leftovers just to keep it fancy. The result? A code outsiders can't crack. Picture this. A Western expat arrives at his shiny new Orchard Road office. He hears, later can go Macon, but must chop place first, if not keen a squeeze. Very Gialet one. His brain freezes. He thinks Macon is a stock ticker. Chop place sounds like a violent felony, and Gialat is maybe a new crypto coin. Meanwhile, the Singaporean colleagues are smirking because they know he has no clue what just happened. That's the beauty of Singlish. It looks like English at first glance, then it pulls the rug out from under you. Outsiders think, oh good, I can understand this country, they speak English here. 5 minutes later, they're drowning in la, lo, le, me, sia, ho. By the time they ask for directions, they're more lost than they were before. And don't underestimate the satisfaction. Singaporeans love watching Westerners stumble. It's like a rite of passage. If you can survive your first Kopitiam order in Singlish without panicking, you're officially local enough. Until then, you're just that clueless animal pointing at the wrong chicken rice stall. So while the West calls Singlish broken, Singaporeans know the truth. It's not broken, it's encrypted. It's a private club language where membership is earned through suffering. And the best part? The very people who colonized Singapore now find themselves shut out of the language they supposedly taught. Irony so sweet you could bottle it and sell it at Marina Bay Sands. Singapore prides itself on efficiency, world-class transport, except when the MRT breaks, lightning-fast hawker queues, and fines for anything that slows the machine down. So it should surprise no one that Singlish follows the same rule. Grammar is a waste of time. Why spend 5 words when you can bulldoze everything into 2? Think about it. The British would say, I have already eaten. That's 4 words. Singlish? Eat already. 2 words. Grammar slashed in half like a government budget line. Efficiency la. Or, take the classic, would it be possible for us to meet tomorrow afternoon? That's 16 syllables. In Singlish, it's just, tomorrow can or not. 4 syllables, faster than a Grab delivery. Sure, it sounds like a toddler negotiating with a babysitter, but hey, it saves time. And Singaporeans are proud of this linguistic cost-cutting. Grammar rules? Too expensive. Articles like the and a, outsourced. Tenses, streamlined out of existence. What's left is a lean, mean communication machine, sentences trimmed to their bare minimum, like the civil service efficiency reports. But here's the kicker. Even while chopping grammar like unnecessary red tape, Singaporeans still sneak in their luxury vocabulary. So you end up with these Frankenstein sentences. This policy very draconian, cannot tahan one. Or, my colleague is so pretentious, but his punctuality very jialat. It's like watching someone ride a bicycle while carrying a Louis Vuitton bag. Half ridiculous, half genius. And you know what? It works. That's the terrifying part. Efficiency isn't pretty, but it's effective. Foreigners laugh at the grammar, but everyone in Singapore understands instantly. Who needs past participles when kopi orders and MRT directions get sorted in seconds? So next time you hear Singlish, don't think of it as broken. Think of it as optimized. Grammar wasn't destroyed. It was outsourced to Malaysia, trimmed down by government efficiency experts, and replaced with la, law, and may. Singapore didn't break English. It made it faster. If you've never heard Singlish before, let me paint you a picture. It's English, but played through a karaoke machine that got water damage. Every sentence sounds like someone mashed the shuffle button on 5 different languages: English, Hokkien, Malay, Tamil, Cantonese, then auto-tuned it with la. To the untrained ear, Singlish is chaos. A tourist hears, later we go makan, then maybe jalan jalan, but if rain ho, then bo pian stay home law. And the poor Australian backpacker looks around like he just wandered into a cult meeting. Why are they chanting syllables at me? Is this English or Pokemon? Even neighbouring countries are confused. Malaysians laugh because half of Singlish is Malay, but butchered. Chinese visitors hear words they recognise but pronounced like they've been through a blender. And Indians? They just roll their eyes because Tamil already has enough particles. Now Singaporeans are inventing new ones. And here's the real comedy. Singaporeans think Singlish is crystal clear. To them, it's smooth, efficient, natural. But when they talk to each other at machine gun speed, even other Singaporeans sometimes have to pause and go, wait, what you say just now, ah? It's like building a language out of inside jokes, then forgetting the punchline. And the tonal rhythm, oh boy. Singlish sentences rise, fall, twist, and snap like someone doing spoken word poetry while balancing kopi on a crowded MRT. One moment it's flat monotone, the next it jumps into a question mark. Outsiders try to imitate it and end up sounding like malfunctioning robots. But that's the genius. Singlish isn't supposed to sound elegant. It's supposed to sound local. It's not for Oxford professors. It's for Kopitiam uncles, hawker aunties, and grab drivers. If you understand it, you're in the club. If you don't, you're lost at karaoke night without subtitles. So yes, Singlish sounds like broken karaoke, but that's the point. It's music only Singaporeans know how to dance to. Everyone else? Just keep nodding and hope you don't accidentally order durian ice cream when you wanted plain vanilla. Here's the paradox of Singlish. Singaporeans love it and hate it at the same time. On one hand, it's a badge of pride, proof that they've taken the colonial master's English, ripped it apart, and rebuilt it with their own rules. On the other hand, the moment a Westerner calls it broken English, Singaporeans suddenly bristle, as if the Queen herself has risen from the grave to mark their grammar in red pen. You can see it in schools. Kids are scolded for speaking Singlish because it's not proper. Teachers push standard English as if speaking like the BBC somehow guarantees a higher GDP. Yet outside the classroom, the same kids slip right back into Singlish because proper English feels sterile like a hospital corridor. Singlish feels alive, messy, colourful, loud. And here's where it gets ironic. Singaporeans want Singlish to be taken seriously, but they also love mocking others for not understanding it. It's like inviting guests to dinner, then serving food with chopsticks glued together. What, you cannot eat, ah, yeah, so funny. That mix of pride and insecurity is the engine that keeps Singlish running. The truth is, Singlish is both a rebellion and a safety net. It's rebellion because it tells the West, we don't need your grammar to function. But it's also a safety net because deep down, Singaporeans still crave validation. If the West ever officially recognised Singlish as a legitimate dialect, you'd see government press releases the very next day. Singlish, now UNESCO heritage, can already. So is Singlish broken? No, it's complicated. It's English that got tired of behaving and decided to grow up Singaporean. It's a mirror of the country itself. Efficient but insecure. Bold but always measuring itself against someone else. In the end, Singlish is Singapore's greatest cultural export and its most stubborn insecurity rolled into one. Pride and shame, rebellion and obedience, all packed into two words. Can la. So after all this, broken grammar, luxury vocabulary, karaoke sounds, efficiency hacks, and cultural pride, you're still asking, is Singlish broken English? Wrong question, La. The real question is, whose English isn't broken? Americans butcher their own language daily. Literally now means figuratively, and irregardless is somehow acceptable. Brits can't even agree among themselves. Scousers, Cockneys, and the Queen all sound like they're from different planets. Australians? Every sentence ends like a question, mate. Even the Canadians sneak in a sorry every 5 words like it's a nervous tick. So why is Singlish always the punching bag? Because it exposes the truth. English was never one language. It's a Frankenstein monster stitched together across empires, and Singapore just had the guts to make their version officially unofficial. Broken grammar, luxury vocabulary, efficiency, cultural code, it works. And that's what makes outsiders uncomfortable. Here's my challenge to you. Next time you hear Singlish, don't ask why so broken. Ask instead, why does it work so well? And if you're really brave, try speaking it yourself. Go down to a kopitiam, order kopi peng, and throw in a la. Watch the auntie either beam with approval or give you that death stare that says, don't try too hard and more. Because in the end, Singlish isn't about grammar. It's about belonging. You can memorize every luxury word in the Oxford Dictionary, but if you can't say can or not with confidence, you'll never belong here. So now I'll throw it back to you. Is Singlish a badge of pride or just English with training wheels? Comment below and settle this once and for all, because if you don't, someone's uncle is already typing "you don't know one la" in the chat.